3, 2, 1. Welcome to the middle of nowhere! Woo! There we go. Thank you very much. Great introduction. Now the podcast has officially begun. And that's where my list is. So, my name is Mitch, and I'm a kicker, and we're going to have some fun tonight. Lots of music and comedy and poetry. And unfortunately, Mo released the news. He gave the news away preemptively. I had a subtle strike. We didn't meet in the war room before this meeting, this attack. So
you don't text me anymore.
I know.
That's why.
I feel like we got to a point in our relationship where we should just be okay with whatever the other person is doing, and we don't have to give up.
You're a better man.
I'm an independent. I can do.
Exactly.
Don't box me in.
No, you're better than me now.
I don't believe in marriage.
Too good for me.
I can't hear you.
Too good for me now.
What? I don't know. So this was gonna be the secret. What I was really gonna do is I wrote this song the other day for a very special person. No, it's not you, Mo. Maybe when it's your birthday and then you tell everyone before it happens. That'll work for us then. So this, I was thinking about it. I was like, why not? I'll write something for Lucas. So I wrote this song, and then we'll see how it goes. You don't have to like it. That's one of the disclaimers, right? The word sex is used like 14 times.
Popsicle?
Testicles. I don't know what Pete is doing. I kind of I guess it's over with it and us. We don't know what, ever since he shaved his face, he's been acting so immature. So young now. Going way too fast, stopping way too soon, knowing way too less, forgetting that I knew something about the water, never apologize for going way too fast, stopping way too soon. Where I am is what I am. Let me turn the light on. Where I flow, I don't know where I'll go. The dark rooms of my mind need light. So I go stopping way too soon, going way too less, forgetting that I knew something about the water, never apologize for going way too fast, stopping way too soon. Where I am is what I am. Let me turn the light on. But that's part of the whole thing. You don't never know how it's going to go down. It's a work in progress. I just wrote that the other day. So I was like, do I know the words? I'm out of key. I can't play the guitar. Somebody pay attention to me in a kind way. Hey, okay, now you know. Like, now it's okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Okay, I'm gonna do one more song and we're gonna start the show. We're gonna continue starting the show. I guess when does the show actually start? That's a deep question.
It's a show that never ends.
This is the show that never ends.
It goes on. Oh, sorry.
Or this one. Alright. Let me redeem myself. No, I mean like that, yeah, that's for you, that was for you. But I have to work on that one. I think you think you arrive. A shout of power, cause we're in doubt, I cannot justify saying sorry, no saying the story, so I apologize. Well, I think you think you arrive, but you think you think I'm blind. I wish you would take back everything you said back when we were laid back, mowed across the same tempo when we thought we were free. Just find the change with the words we speak, cause I think you think you were right, but you think you think I'm blind. It's the same old story through the same old boring. We keep waking now, we keep thinking how. It's the same old story through the same old boring. We keep thinking now, we keep thinking now. Well, I think you think you were right, but not about it, 'cause we're in doubt and cannot justify saying sorry, no saying the story, so I apologize. Well, I think you think you were right. I think you think you were right. I think you think you were right, but you think you think I'm blind. Thank you very much. Try to play that song. You've never heard that song before. Never. Let's get a round of applause for Peter on the bass and Jackson, who just finished saving the planet. He plants trees. He does that really. It's really cool that thing. What did you do, Jackson? Plant trees. So we're gonna get Miles up now. Come on up, young man. Round of applause for Miles. Miles sauntering up now.
Swap the chair. Yeah, I need to. I got this one for you.
Anybody know that long monologue from Don't Lay No Woogie Woogie on the King of Rock and Roll? Well, maybe I'm too young for that. Or Nobody remembers Long John Baldwin?
I know it.
Anyways, you have to Google it.
He's the one who told Elton John that he was gay.
Uh,
He should stop pretending.
Long John Baldwin told Elton John that he was gay.
No, that he should stop pretending and not marry whoever he was about to marry. And he ended up with his current partner.
We also played music.
That too.
Yeah. Well, anyways, he was a legend. Google it. He's got this long monologue about being stopped by the police, and they take him to court in the '60s, and they say, "But the man was playing some boogie woogie." And that's how the officer described it in those days, rock and roll. And he goes, "Don't lay no boogie woogie on the king of rock and roll." And let's go. Anyways, okay, I'm showing my age, right? Okay, it's great. You should Google it. It's great. I didn't know his connection to whatever. Okay, here's my dilemma. Sorry? Oh, why? I'm dying and you're saying sorry?
He's just put it a little closer.
Oh, do you? Oh, okay. Well, okay, I'll talk right into it.
It's perfect.
Okay, here's the deal. I was gonna read this thing on mental health. I wrote an essay about it. And then I thought, well, wait a second. I'm sick. No. No, seriously. I went to the Artist Health Network today. It's at the hotel, the hospital on Dundas and Bathurst, Toronto Western, and I spoke to a nurse there, a nurse practitioner, about getting some therapy, talk therapy. Anyway, she was great. Like I went on and on for an hour, and like most professionals like that are bored after 2 minutes. She is the Artist Health Network. This was right up there, and I came home, and I felt this weird pain in my stomach, and I'm going, "What's going on?" And I said, "Oh, I'm depressed," because I talked about all these people that messed me over really bad. And my teacher said to me, you help somebody years ago, and then they kick you in the teeth. That's more or less what happened. And I've got a lovely wife, but that's aside from it. She is one. But I realized I was in the amenity room ready to come over here, and I said, "Oh, that's pain. Oh, that's a depression," because I talked about all this crap. So I sat there waiting for the Wheel-Trans, and I was going to read this thing about how you deal with all these diseases and health things. And then I thought, well, like when I was a kid and I played football, you'd come home like just beaten to a pulp. And I actually enjoyed lying there with my body beaten up and going, I just did. And most of my life, when I had anxiety or depression or stuff like that, I'd work it in my mind, right? Which is not fun. What you do is you're digging a hole deeper. But I've reached a point in my life now where I feel all beaten up inside, but I've done, like I was talking to Jack, I've done enough mindfulness courses that I don't chase my tail with about it. So I'm like when I was a kid and I had these bruises from football, except it's bruises emotional, and I don't have to do anything with it. I just sit there with it. So I thought, and it's not that bad when you do that. I mean, I've done the other thing, and it's been years miserable. So I thought I'd talk about that and really win the audience over with yucks. But that's the essence of mental health, is don't chase your own tail when stuff is happening. Feel it. And okay, so that's the preamble. If I have time, and Mitch doesn't get the book, I'll actually read the essay. Surrender to whatever you respect, even if it is your own subconscious. That is, letting go of control allows you to participate from a vantage point greater than your own small self. Hence, Dr. Bhattacharya said to me a few years ago, "You are standing in the hallway and the party is in the living room." I responded by saying, what the fuck are you talking about? I actually did. Then but you see. So letting it rain, allowing the pain, staying in front of a moving train, or when you are lost or angry, just accepting will lead you to yourself, or as Maslow said, your authentic self. I was worried when I started this process that I personally would have nothing to claim as my own accomplishment. If the gods controlled all, what could my self-esteem claim as my work? Then I took the journey and saw that in the face of life's vicissitudes, letting go and allowing took nerves of steel. There is no greater accomplishment than giving in, facing pain, failure, disappointment, or fear. Now you're all happy. Okay, the soldier says to the wise man, "Do you not know that with one swipe of my sword I can cut your head off?" The wise man responds, I promised Mitch I wouldn't do this with the papers. "Do you not know that I could let you?" The ability not to chase one's own tail is the secret to mental health. Pursuing thoughts endlessly leads to anxiety, paranoia, and despair. To stop this action requires letting go, but in one's mind, not just one's actions. It can actually be accomplished easily, but slowly over a long period of time. The less effort, the better. We steer our mind and outcomes to force the outcomes we think we desire. I had extreme OCD and depression. The key was dealing with it little by little, tiny slivers over a long period of time. Most exposure therapies are far too brutal and encourage the patient to feel all manner of awful withdrawal sensations. This is well-meaning effort by experts with painful results at best, but only partial success. It does not help the root of the problem, which is not allowing your mind to wander. So it goes with all mental illnesses. The doctor and patient decide from the outset the cure is next to impossible. And then, of course, it is. To those who say they cannot do it, I suggest that you are pushing too hard. Total cure, is in fact easier, not harder. But we all decide it takes a great deal of effort, so the ball of twine gets tighter and tighter. Many people end up feeling helpless and hopeless. I have at different times been diagnosed as schizophrenic, bipolar, and with crippling OCD. Words, words, words. The answer is to be satisfied with small gains over long periods, eating the elephant in small pieces. Without an understanding of what it really means to leave your mind alone, the psychiatrists and psychologists are up against a futile problem. You cannot teach what you do not understand. Even advanced therapists in hospitals who use meditation do not understand the mind. Only a very few people get free by traditional meditation, and that includes those who spend years in monasteries. Now, I just had a disagreement from Jack, which I'll accept, who said meditation really helped him, and helped me too get out of pain and everything. But for me, the oxymoron of meditation is that forcing yourself to keep still or follow your breath leads to freedom. You want the butterfly to land on your nose, not pin it to the mat. But Jack just said it worked for him, so now shut me up and throw me away. Many people say that they cannot sit still or take a 10-week course in meditation and then give it up. Like John Kabat-Zinn was teaching this 10-week course, and I have tons of friends who took it, and none of them meditate now. But John Kabat-Zinn is an interesting man. It is all easier, not harder. The paradox of effort while letting go, effort, letting go, effort, letting go. You have to make effort, but you have to do sort of non-effort at the same time. It is the wisdom that leads to mental health. However, as Leo Tzu, as my buddy who wrote the Tao Te Ching, 2,000s of years ago, said, the wise man walks as though on thin ice. Mental health is a lifelong learning process for all of us. The wise man has wisdom because he acknowledges he is only ever at the beginning. So that's that. And I wrote a few poems. Am I done? I wrote a few poems about my depression just before here that was going on now, and I don't know if they're any good, but I'll try. Well, let go and fly again. I know I'll fly again, sooner than I think. No inner dialogue, no description, a clever at this or that. If you, oh, I promised you I wouldn't do this. This is my handwriting, I can't read it, so I'll stop. Thank you. Promised Nick I wouldn't just wing it, so I read the part that I had planned. Yeah. Whoa, sorry, hold on, you stop, and I get out.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, we are a little traveling music, thank you.
Okay. Miles, I like your shirt too, Rendezvous.
Yeah, Rendezvous with Madness. That's a film festival of mental health every year. It's 25 years old. It's really good.
That's very cool
Check
shirt.
for it.
Thank you.
A little shorter than that.
Really? All right, geez, that was too close to my mouth. That's just how loud I am. So we're gonna have Kat. She's gonna play some song for us with her new ukulele. It's shaped differently, slightly differently than the other one.
Is that me?
Don't think so. Oh, it is.
It is.
I think it's you pulling the mic closer to the speaker.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, I'm Kat. I've been awake for a while now. You got me feeling like a child now. 'Cause every time I see your bubbly face, you get the tingles in a city place. Starts in my toes, makes me crinkle my nose. Wherever it goes, always know. You make me smile, please stay for a while now. Just take your time, wherever you go. The rain is falling on my window pane, but we're hiding in a safer place. Undercover, staying dry and warm. You give me feelings that I adore. Starts at my toes, makes me crinkle my nose. Wherever it goes, always know. You make me smile, please stay for a while now. Just take your time, wherever you go. And what am I gonna say? When you make me feel this way, I just starts in my toes, makes me crinkle my nose. Wherever it goes, me smile. Please stay for a while now. Just take your time wherever you go. I've been asleep for a while now. You tuck me in just like a child now. 'Cause every time you hold me in your arms, I'm comfortable enough to feel warm. Starts at my toes, makes me crinkle my nose. Wherever it goes, I always know. You make me smile, please stay for a while now. Just take your time, wherever you go. I've been asleep for a while now. You tuck me in just like a child now. 'Cause every time I see your bubbly face, I get the tingles in a steady pace.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah, well, okay. Things, life. We have Sam up next. Let's have another round of applause for Kat. That was beautiful. And for Miles. Thank you, Miles, for being yourself. Which is always welcome and accepted here. And I love you. I do. Sometimes I scratch my head. You see me scratching my head. You don't know why. That's why. Because I love you. That's a sign of love. What? That's why I shaved it. Because I love you. All right, Sam.
Got the old Miles love bugs in your hair, eh? As you said, a wise man knows he's walking on ice. I like that. One of my favorite comedians likes to repeat the phrase, if you're gonna walk on ice, you might as well tap dance, right? One foot in the grave, 1 foot on a banana peel, right, guys? I'm trying out new pants. I don't know how I feel about them. They're kind of like Japanese-ish. I don't know if it's me or not yet. It's, you don't really think about your pants that much until you think about your pants a lot, you know? Trying new things. I've been seeing a girl a little bit who's into astrology, which I didn't think I was going to get that into, you know? I didn't think I'd like it, but now she blames all my faults on being a Gemini, which is awesome. I thought it was going to be an insult, but to be honest, it's the biggest cop-out of all time. I've blamed a lot of things for my faults as a human being. I never thought of the moon, you know? Like, I'm sorry I didn't text you for a couple of days there. It wasn't because I was smoking pot, it's because Venus had me all. Venus strikes again, you know? Mercury was in retrograde for a while there. It's a hall pass to all types of shenanigans. I am but one man against the entire universe, you know? What hope do I have to lead a virtuous life when the stars, the very stars in the sky, are telling me to be an asshole? Classic. You know, Jupiter makes you stupider, apparently. Not everything you learn in grade 1 is useless, you know? Teaching about the very ways of the universe, low-key. Screw math. We need to double down on this stuff. The Mercury's in retrograde, everyone was in a bad mood, right? I had this girl diagnosed herself based off of symptoms about some sort of like Lion's Gate opening up. And I was like, wait, wouldn't that apply to me too? I feel pretty good. And she's like, shut up. You know? Rational logic. They use crystals to come back from these things too now, right? You use a crystal to counteract your stuff. I don't know. I gotta do more research. I use a crystal, and I realized that I've been using crystals to help regulate my depression as well, as mine just come from a street dealer usually. Very magical. I realized that I think astrology is just white people trying to find new labels for people now that we're not allowed to call people by their ethnicity and stuff, right? Like no longer can you go, oh, what do you think of my friend Howard? They're like, who's Howard? And you can't be like, that fat Asian guy anymore. That's rude. So you just say that Libra over there. You know, remember that Libra from last night? And you say, I really enjoy a nice plate of Libra food. Just trying to add labels to life. As a straight white male, this might be my only chance to be part of a oppressed minority as a Gemini, you know? This is a window here for me. Tough. The year's 1993, and a very sad man writes a beautiful song called What is Love? And it goes into a Mountain Dew commercial now. It's one of the happiest songs of all time. You guys ever read the lyrics? It's a desperate cry for help. Now it's the happiest song of all time, you know? Can you imagine bearing your heart out like that? Like you coming up here and writing a song about some real stuff, and all of us are like, this is going to be in a Mountain Dew commercial for sure. I hope my artistry never becomes that, you know? But actually I do want people to be happy. If people would just watch this and like, that's a sad, sad boy. That's kind of what happens there. I was at I went to New York. I was at a very fancy restaurant. So fancy they had real candles on the table, you know? That's what I'm saying. Paying for good food. And the person I was with hit me with zoodles. You guys familiar with what zoodles are? They're zucchini spiralized into noodle shapes, zoodles. It's a salad disguised as spaghetti. And it is one of the biggest offenses. One of spitting in the face of God is what I'd call it, to be honest with you. Blasphemy. What else do you get to just cut a vegetable into something and call it something else? Oh yeah, everything now. At least they're trying with the Beyond Meat burger, you know? Zoodles are just zucchini spaghetti at a restaurant for $18 for some reason. Ow. I'll do one more little quip and I'll get out of here. I was recently at a combined KFC Taco Bell. Why, you ask? I'm too scared to cut. That's probably why. And they did they very casually wheeled a guy out of the bathroom on a gurney. You know? I don't know how to make a joke out of it, but it's just... Sometimes life is the joke, you know? It's when you're feeling at your absolute worst. You're just sitting there being like, is this a cry for help? Because this feels like a cry for help, you know? You just do a mental check in yourself, and then they take an actual body out of the bathroom of the restaurant you're in. That's when I started eating zoodles. That's why I know what zoodles are, guys. I've been Googling things. I'm a Gemini, zoodle-eating motherfucker now, guys. Thank you.
I thought you meant like zoodles, like lots of.
Oh, like
You
oodles
know, like
and oodles.
oodles, zoodles of this. Zoodles of spaghetti. Keira and Lucy are now up next. Let's patiently wait for them.
So both Mexican.
Oh yes, because it's gonna be a duet, which is remarkable. It means there's two. Who's playing the guitar?
She is.
Yes.
She is.
Keira there's no straps. Oh,
No, thank you.
no, thank you. And you want to hold it?
Sure.
You need to stand. But you're gonna sing too, Keira, or are you gonna just
It's fine. Perfect. Oh,
There she
Ain't never felt this way. Can't be with me, so stay. It ain't like we got big plans. need to know you're the only one. Alright. And you need to know, keep me up all night. Oh, my heart hurts so good. I love you, babe, so bad, so bad. Oh, my heart hurts so good. I love you, babe, so bad, so bad. Mad cooling on my clothes. Mad warm when you get close to me. Slow dance these summer nights. Our disco ball is my kitchen light. You need to know I'm hella obsessed with your face. Your face. You need to know I could take your place. Oh, my heart is so good. I love you, babe, so bad, so bad. Oh, my heart is so good. I love you, babe, so bad, so bad. My heart hurts. Oh, my heart hurts. My heart hurts so bad.
Wow, that was good, Nate. That was really. Very good. Alexi's up next. Thank you, those two, and I'm really bad at what I'm doing. So we're gonna all entertain Mitch for a while. How do I describe Alexi? In one word? Satisfying. He's gonna do some poetry for us. Round of applause for Alexi.
So I'm gonna do some poetry, and this one is called A Smoker's Lament, and it's a true story. And this poem, the conceit of the poem is basically a study of contrasts between what a person says and what they do. Smoker's Lament, a true story. They're burning the rainforests, he said, scrounging around in his jacket pocket. They're destroying the forest to graze cattle. He took out the pack, dropped one. Fuck them. They don't care about anything. He grabbed it with his lips and sucked. They only care about making more money. He reached into his pant pocket. Trees make the air we need to breathe. He took out the lighter, fingered it. I'm a vegetarian now, he said, pressing his thumb to the wheel of the lighter. It's crazy to eat that adulterated cow meat. He lifted the lighter, he flicked the flint. And they treat those poor cows like shit. The lighter spits a volley of sparks. Injustice from the past makes me sick, he said, flicking the flint again. You blacks were forced to pick cotton as slaves. A thin blue tongue of flame rose up and worked on the tobacco fields for nothing. He lifted the fire and it licked hungrily. We pollute the world and don't even care, he said. It seesawed on his lips as the flame went dark. Do you want to know what's wrong with the world today? He took another hard drag, flipped the ashes. People have lost respect for themselves. He said this saddened, sucking it until it glowed like the eye of a demon. They have no respect for themselves, he said, or for other people. Then he turned and blew his smoke into my face.
I always associated the word conceit with like bad behavior. But there's conceit in poems, which is neat. What does that mean?
It is kind of the engine that drives the poem, that kind of makes it poetic.
Really?
Yeah, it's the intention of the poem, so to speak.
Cool. I didn't know that. Did anybody else know that? Conceit. It's like what politicians do, right? I guess it's their engine. Where's Jessica? All right, round of applause for Jessica. She's gonna play. My names are sunk. My names are sunk. That's what I just said. What was your name? Trevor. And Trevor's gonna play the piano. Awesome. Are you gonna? Would you want to sit down and stand up? The stool? Yeah, the go-to stool.
Hi there, I'm Jessie, and this is Trevor. Go find a jukebox and see what a quarter will do. I don't want to talk, I just want to go back to blue. Feeds me when I'm hungry and quenches my thirst. Loves me when I'm lonely and thinks of me first. Blue is the color of night when the red sun disappears from the sky. Raven, feathers shiny and black, a touch of blue glistening down her back. We don't talk about heaven and we don't talk about hell. We've come to depend on one another so damn well. So go to confession, whatever gets you through. You can count your blessings, I'll just count on blue. Blue is the color of night when the red sun disappears from the sky. Raven, feathers shiny and black, a touch of blue glistening down her back. Blue. Nice finish. Thank you, Trevor.
Yes, I like when people do things together. That's called a duet. So we're gonna have somebody who's never performed here before. His name's Vlad. So we're gonna give him help me give him a big round of applause because he's gonna set up his synthesizer. He's got all the dials, every dial in the world.
Yeah, Al, can you get some of these like lights off? These ones in the front? Yeah. Oh. Ooh, there we go.
If you said please, I would have done it even smoother.
Hey. You didn't say please? What the fuck? My fault, dude. Thank you so much for grade school. Set up, you'll see tonight. Get up on and we'll make it better next time. Be prepared. Oh, if you dare to see me in this place. Oh, in this place. So I'm gonna do acoustic first.
Do your synth first.
Start the song with,
And you can put it down.
yeah, the song with a little acoustic guitar. No. Keep going, folks. Keep going, folks. Keep going. Let's try that microphone. Give me some reverb, a little more, maybe some delay, reverb, delay. That sounds alright. Alright, here we are. I'd like less lights, but whatever. Take me to your room and read me a story. Take me to a walk around your place. Take me for another time. Take me where you feel sacred. Tell me about your favorite books. Tell me how they looked like. Tell me anything you want. Tell me anything you like. Tell me what it feels to you. all your favorite books. Read me every line. Tell me about the places you go when you're alone. Tell me what it was like when you were so horny. Tell me anything you want. Tell me every story. Listen to your favorite songs. Listen to your favorite books. Tell me anything you like. Tell me what it is in your heart. Tell me I will listen to anything you want to. Tell me about your favorite book. Tell me what it meant to you. Tell me what you think about when you look at sun. Merci.
Now we're tearing it apart. heavy.
Down here.
All right. Cool. Sound? Yeah. Okay. Good. Jack, performance Jack, are you ready? All right. Let's do a big round of applause for Jack. It's a secret, though. You don't know why you're applauding.
Definitely come back if you got more for sure.
I'm excited.
That was awesome. No one's ever thought of singing.
What do you need help setting?
Thanks. Really good.
Is this everything? I think it's. Is this yours?
Oh, you have the mic. Yeah.
Cable.
Hello.
It's on.
Happy birthday, Lucas.
Thanks, Jack.
You share
Thank
a
you.
birthday. I looked it up while I was sitting down. You share a birthday with Lucille Ball, Elliott Smith, and Andy Warhol
No way.
of the band The Andy Warhols.
Yeah. The Dandy Warhols? Is that
What?
It's a band called the Dandy Warhols. Pretty awesome.
The Dandy Warhols?
Yeah, Bohemian Like You is one of their probably top songs.
Bohemian Like You?
Yeah, it's an awesome song. You should check it out.
They get better every second.
What's that?
They're getting better every second.
Yeah.
Dandy Warhols.
The Dandy Warhols, yeah. You give me the
so
signal
it's
when
ready?
you want.
It's ready. Just have to set up.
Yeah,
so let's
no
take a
worries.
second. 1 second.
Feel like that's
Well, hello. Nice to see you all tonight. Ah, it's pleasant weather we're having, isn't it? Sure, it's a little rainy and humid, but down where I dwell, it's always a little humid, so I'm kind of used to it. Such beautiful faces looking back. It's been a while since I've seen people. The only person I see around is that Super Mario character. But I haven't seen him in a while. I hear he's turned into a vampire and roams the streets at night. Well, so be it. I've got a nice place down in the underworld. You should see it sometime. I kind of stay down there. I can't really get out much. I couldn't see the Ariana Grande tour when it came through. But, I come up around noon to feast on what I can reach. Oh, you want to come see my place, do you? Well, I invite you to come see my abode. Welcome to my home. Oh, I know it's not much, but I find it cozy. You'll have to excuse the music. It never ends. I can't turn it off. It sort of came with the place, and I looked around and played with that switchy boardy thing that plays with the electricity. No, I couldn't find it. Anyway, excuse the mess. The after party, the Ariana Grande show is here, and I'd offer you something to drink, but they drank everything. There might be a half-smashed bottle of vodka somewhere. Yeah, take a seat, thank you. You are a guest in my home. Pardon the smell. I know we're underground, but the realtor showed me the place when people weren't flushing the toilets. I didn't know I was near a sewer. These tubes, they go everywhere. You gotta see. Oh, there's so many places. Places no human has ever been. Oh, you wanna go further down, do you? Ha! Well, let's get nuts! Oh, welcome to, well, I wouldn't call it hell, but it's just as good. I would offer you a place to sit, but there is no furniture. Just rivers of blood and, burning charcoal islands. Just like in Revelations, You've read that book, right? Number 9. The dragon, the red dragon with the horns and the crowns, etc. Oh, there go the clouds going by, the burning clouds and the skeletons. Say hello. Hello, skeletons. Oh, no human has ever been here before. You're the first. I commend your confidence to come down here. Sure, it's not my home, but did you know this is where Ariana Grande's record contract was written? That's true. Lady Gaga signed it with her fingernails. Yeah, I know it's hot, but it's a dry heat. Not like that fucking humidity, right? Oh my God. Well, it's been such a pleasure to have you down here. Again, thank you for coming this low into the substrata. Thank you very much. Thank you. Good night.
Wow. That was amazing. I wish the podcast people I've got blood on my hands. Where did the blood come from? Oh yeah. For everybody listening at home, there's a crocodile. That was amazing. It's fine. Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna go from one Jack to another. So Jack is gonna come up now. Jack with a star. Round of applause for Jack with a star. You gonna sit down? Yeah. Palpable absence. Palpable. The humidity. I appreciate you. You doing what you did. Am I good, Lucas?
You're good.
TMoN. It's very F, C, and D minor. But played in various orders. Let's hear it from Mitch, everyone. Doing double duty this evening, working doubly hard because, you know, we're experimenting with format and life, and I appreciate it. And for anyone who's listening on the podcast, I'm going to post a video for what Jack just did because I feel it needs context. So check it out at Now They're Here, and you'll see some videos of that. This is just a little quick song. It's a love song, and I wrote half of it when I was high, and on marijuana, and the other half when I was high on mushrooms. So if it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, you know why. This is a love song, and like in love, like in life, things can go wrong, and you just gotta roll with it. Okay. Can't believe I've been talking to you all night. From Cupid's bow, his arrow doth strike. Is this what it feels like when two souls collide? I see the divine when I look into your eyes. But there's one thing that's making me feel such shame. And that is that I can't remember your name. Was it Tina or was it Jane? Was it Tiffany or was it Lorraine? Oh, love of my life, what's your name? And on our wedding day when I say I do, I'd just like to know who I'm saying it to. Or maybe I can write you a note asking you to elope. I just need to know what to write on the envelope. Or maybe I can just start by calling you babe, and make that last until our dying day. And when I'm lying on my deathbed and you're there cradling my head, that's when I'll tell you that I don't know your name. No, what I think I'll have to do is find someone to introduce you to. But I won't say your name, so you'll have to. And this time it'll stick to me like glue. But before I do, something happens that's kind of strange. You introduce me to your friend and do exactly the same. Well, if you don't know my name, well baby, that's okay. Let's just do this giant bag of cocaine. Thank you.
I don't know how he does that. Every song he's written, 3 songs that have all been like beautifully, finally sad. Okay, oh, my eyes cannot peer that far. Oh yeah, you. Peter! Round of applause for Peter, one of the house bandmates. Hi. I gotta get set up here. There, okay, now we're good. There. Get out of here,
If you ever change your mind about leaving me behind, oh, bring it to me, bring your sweet loving, bring it on home to me, yeah, 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 yeah. I will always be your slave till I am buried in my grave. Oh, bring it to me, bring your sweet loving, bring it on home to me, yeah, 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 yeah. I will give you jewelry, but that ain't all I do for you. Oh, bring it to me, bring your sweet loving, bring it on home to me, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, you stay out late at night, but you stay out late at night. Oh, bring it to me, bring your sweet loving, bring it on home to me, yeah, 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 yeah. Thanks.
Thank you, Peter. I will bring it home to you. What am I bringing? Sweet love. Okay, we're halfway. We're gonna start the session, so I'm gonna do a quick song, and then Miles, if you wanna make your way up here, you can do that. You don't have to though. You're gonna go next, okay? Yes. 4 minutes. You understand? Pardon? UNC? I don't know what that is. Yes, yeah. I will time you and everything will work out smoothly. As I sit next to my friend and the warm wind is blowing in, well, I know this will end. It'll also begin again. Each new breath, a little death. Each new moment holds up the rest. Each sunrise kills the darkness that says goodnight to the sunset. All these endless things they never stop. Endless endings, forever stop. As I sit next to my friend, and the warm wind blows again. And I know you will go. You will go. And I will follow. Thank you very much. All right, look, keep that round of applause going for Miles. Oh yeah.
And then you gotta field questions.
We will do both of those things. So, this is a special guest. His name is Henrik von Schickelheimer, and he asks or answers questions from the audience. That anybody can ask any questions. I'll facilitate them.
Dr. Johann von Schickelheimer.
Dr. Johann von Schickelheimer.
Expert on all and everything.
He's an expert on all and everything,
Answers any question.
and he answers any questions. Oh, gee.
Oh, geez. No, you say that.
Just left up there.
Yeah, well.
So every now and then, bounces will be in him.
Yeah, that's my power. I can stand up. That's my superpower. I stand without falling over. Okay, yeah, well, sorry.
All right, cool. This one on? All right, this is going to be quick. I mean, like, let's get some quick questions from people. Does anybody have any questions for
Well,
Henrik
first of all,
von?
my name is Dr. Johann von Schickelheimer.
Right, yes. They don't have
I'm known as the expert in all and everything. Any subject, physical, spiritual, simple, unsimple.
Yeah. So, does anybody have any questions? Oh, Alexi, yes?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
How do you persuade someone to fall in love with you?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I don't have to, they just do. No, well, you know, that is a very interesting question because, first of all, you have to answer the primary part of that question. Why would you want to? I mean, you know, like okay, say you're married, happily married, and you're married for 40 years, and at the end of it, your wife turns to you and says, you know, you talked me into this. How are you going to feel? Ask yourself that question. So it's a very simple question. Like, I'm sorry, we're supposed to leave each other alone. Not alone, like in the garage, with the windows down. But you leave people have their choices and then they choose. I mean, that's okay. That's a manipulation. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, that's not the sex thing. That's a manipulation. So actually, I had a psychiatrist guy. He said, if you want to get a woman to fall in love with you, go to the park. Don't go to a bar. Go to a park. Open this very sensitive book and sit there and read. And the right woman will go, oh, who's that? Okay? So that's how you do it. You go to a park and you open a book on flowers, poems about flowers, and you read. That's right. That's it.
Thank
But
you.
the short answer is you don't want somebody you manipulated into loving you. Okay. go ahead.
Okay, thank you for that answer, Doctor.
You're welcome.
What does anybody else have any questions? You can ask him anything. It doesn't have to be hard question. It could be an easy question, just an honest question.
Or it could be
I
a
got a
question
question.
about life that you've always wanted to get answered. A spiritual question.
We have a
right?
question.
Yes,
I got a
hello,
question.
hello.
Am I sad because I listen to sad music, or do I listen to sad music because I'm sad?
You're just sad. You're just sad. Look, me sugar. You don't have to be sad to listen to sad music, but no doubt it will make you sad. So there you go.
Okay, well I think we have time for one more question.
Okay, what should I ask?
Oh, we got a hand in the back. Yeah, Lucy?
Hand in the back, okay. Like a puppet. What, hello?
Can you tell us a childhood story?
A childhood, from my childhood?
Yeah, just like a little.
Oh, certainly. I'll tell you a story. When my dear mother, Fräulein, was dying on her deathbed, and I was only 8 years old, but I already had my degree in psychiatry, and I graduated from Vienna, and I'd done therapy with people for 14 years, even though I was only 8 years old. I came to her deathbed, and on her deathbed she said, "Johann?" I said, "Yeah, that's my name. I have something to tell you." What? You get killed for this. "You are Jesus' older brother." I said, "What?" "The angel Gabriel spoke to me before you were born to say you were coming, because Jesus held up in another parallel universe." And I said, "Well, Mom, why didn't you tell me this before?" She said, "Well, we didn't want to worry you." That's a true story. No, you see that I read this account, alternate account of Christ's life, and in it somebody asks him, it's not like Bible, he says, are you Manuel? And he says, "No, that's my older brother." So I got this idea that Jesus had an older brother. So I wanted to build myself as Jesus' older brother. You know, he couldn't make it. I'm here, and I wanted to write a book called something like a book was called No Name. No, it had a good title. It was Jesus Couldn't Make It. Will You Settle for Me? But I gave it up and went back to psychiatry. And you said a made-up story? There you go. It's sort of untrue.
Okay, thank you very much, Doctor.
I'm sorry for anybody I offended. I think I did. You know? Okay.
Good?
Yeah, I'm good. Well, I'm great. Yeah. I'm gonna be dead too.
That's good.
Love of mine, someday you will die, but I'll be close behind. I'll follow you into the dark, no blinding lights, tunnels to gates of white, just our hands clasped so tight, waiting for the entire spark. Heaven and hell decide that they both is satisfied. Illuminate the notes on their vacancy signs. There's no one beside you when your soul embarks. decide that they both are satisfied. Illuminate the notes on their vacancy sign. If there's no one beside you when your soul embarks, then I'll follow you into the dark. 'Cause I'll follow you into the dark.
Thank you, Kat. That was awesome. And thank you, Dr. Von Schickelheimer. I realize I don't thank people enough for being here. I would like to extend a warm thank you to everyone for being here. You are all awesome. Thank you. Thank you. This is harder than it looks. Okay, I think, actually, what am I looking at you guys for? You don't have the book.
Lucy.
Lucy and Keira. It's like surprise. Like even Mitch doesn't know what the fuck's going on, and he's supposed to be the host. It's like, welcome to my house. I don't know where the rooms are or where the walls end. Are you guys gonna do the same thing?
Same
On the exact same song. Yay!
Same song. Don't have any new material.
I would hear that song again. That's just.
Right.
I can't speak for everyone. So.
Oh, great.
I just want to make sure it's.
Hey little girl, is your daddy home? Did he go and leave you all alone? No, I got a bad desire. Oh, I'm on fire. Tell me now, baby, is it good to you? Did he do to you the things that I do? Oh, no, I can take you high. Oh, I'm on fire. Sometimes like someone took a knife, baby, edgy and dull, and cut a 6-inch valley through the middle of my skull. At night I wake up with the sheets soaking wet and a freight train running through the middle of my head, and you cool my desire. Oh, I'm on fire. Oh, I'm on fire. Oh, I'm on fire. Thank you.
Oh, you.
Oh, me? Oh my God.
Oh, I touched your hand. Wow, that's me.
Stop.
Never washed it.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna cry. I don't know about everybody else. That was amazing. That was absolutely amazing. Alexi, you ready to follow that? With some mathematical poetry? The most satisfying man in the world. Can't pull this in. You got it. I guess I didn't technically need to do that. Nope. I was just, okay. Just trying to make it through. Losing my mind. Okay.
Hello, it's me again. So, just to recap, a conceit is any kind of like driving metaphor, as well as being narcissistic and an asshole, to be conceited, so to speak. right?
So
But
all
also,
of those.
no, you're none of those. But
I don't know about
for
that.
poetry, a conceit is a driving metaphor, something that shapes the poem in some way. And so I'm going to tell a story, and it's a story of the birth of Aphrodite. So last week, I told a story about the birth of the Greek gods, Theogony, and in it, Kronos, the Titan, he chopped off his father's penis, which was not nice to do, and threw it into the ocean, to the sea. And the blood from the penis dripped onto the earth, and it created the avenging furies. And the semen from the penis fell into the sea, and it foamed up, and from the foam arose the goddess Aphrodite. And this is where the story gets kind of weird, because after Aphrodite was born, she's brought to Olympus, which is kind of weird because there was a war in between, and there was a lot of stuff that was happening, and we don't know what happened really, but apparently she was born, she was beautiful, and they brought her up to Olympus. And immediately all the Olympians, all the gods, started to fight over her because they wanted to marry her because she was gorgeous. And so Zeus decided that he was going to settle the matter, and he married her off to his younger son, Hephaestus, who was the god of creativity. He made armor, he made jewelry, he was very artistic. He was also not very attractive. He was ugly, and he was so ugly, in fact, that when his mother, Keira, saw him, she was Zeus's wife. When she saw him, she threw him from Olympus because, she just didn't like the way he looked. And when he landed on Earth, his legs were broken, so he was permanently lame from then on. But he had his revenge because he made a beautiful golden throne for his mother. And when Keira sat in the throne, she was immediately captivated. It locked her in. She couldn't get out. And so eventually, he was persuaded to let her go by apparently getting Aphrodite as his wife. So Aphrodite and Hephaestus are married, and everything should be fine, but actually, Aphrodite was more in love with the god of war, Ares, which was Hephaestus' brother, older brother. And so they carried on a little liaison, a little side thing. And what I thought was really interesting about the story is that, yes, Aphrodite, or love, and beauty inspires the creation of artistic things and beautiful things, but the secret lover of love is war. And the Romans kind of understood this a little bit, I guess, in that the word for beauty is bella, but also the word for war is bellas. So whenever there is love, somewhere in there, there might be a bit of war too. So I just want to share that story with you.
Very cool.
Yes, Jessica, you're up next. What is love? Baby, Bellas, Bella, Bellas. That's the song, I think. That was the real words. You want to sit down or stand up? Okay. Let's get a nice warm round of applause for Jessica coming back with her medium guitar. It's so cute. It's in between your ukulele and my guitar. And it's sunburst.
So we'll go like 25% volume on that, and I'll try and crank it up.
freedom. Well, who am I to keep you down? It's only right that you should belay the way you're feeling. But listen carefully to the sound of your loneliness, like a heartbeat drives you mad. In the stillness of remembering what you had and what you lost and what you had and what you lost. Oh, thunder only happens when it's raining. There's only love you when they play. Say women, they will come and they will go. When the rain washes you clean, you know, you will know. Now here I go again to see the crystal vision. I keep my visions to myself. It's only me who wants to wrap around your dreams and have you any dreams you'd like to sell. Dreams of loneliness, like a heartbeat drives you mad. In the stillness of remembering what you had and what you lost and what you had. Oh, and what you lost. Oh, thunder only happens when it's raining. There's only love you when they're playing. Say women, they will come and they will go. When the rain washes you clean, you'll know. Thunder only happens when it's raining. There's only love you when they're playing. Say women, they will come and they will go. When the rain washes you clean, you'll know. You will know. You will know. You know.
Thank you, Jessica. Another round of applause for Jessica. And her necklace, which struck me. It was a beautiful necklace. I made that. I made it out of love. Well, my love for Miles and my dandruff put it together, made the necklace. Magic. Vlad's back. You ready to go, buddy?
Yeah. Let's plug in back. Let's get this guy. And then guitar. So 2, 3.
Delay, brief thing.
Oh yeah, there's no scrapping, but that's what it is.
Okay, well, that's what I'm telling you.
You want to sit down?
It's just going into your PA, right? Excuse me. The delay and reverb on this as well. Alright. New place. Let's go to a new place where you can be in love. I long to be there with you all the time. You can do anything you want. We don't have to be bothered by anyone. It's our new home. Can be safe here. You can do anything you want. It's our home. Adele won't tell us how to love or how to behave. Don't you think you can do what you want? Let's go to a new place where we can be however we want to be. No more complaints from the neighbors.
Thank you.
Yeah, just grab the mic on the side. I can help with the
All right, yeah, thank you, Vlad. That was Vlad's first time in the middle of nowhere. Thank you for those 2 songs. It was a funky, brought me back to my childhood, the 80s, I think. I don't remember when I was. I was very young in the 80s. Perhaps even a youth.
a babe.
What am I fucking talking about? Jack, performer Jack, you ready to do your thing again?
I am.
All right, round of applause for Jack again.
Welcome to the 80s.
The box?
Yeah. You guys know Moon Dance? Dan Morrison Moon Dance? No, I know.
If I could, we're going to take a picture at the end, and I would like everybody in the room to be in the picture, even if you didn't perform. So don't leave. Just a warning. So you leave, then I'm going to be one less person.
Yes, what I said.
Van Morrison and the Moon Dance. Backstage, Van Morrison. You know it's Van, got some Twain, bow. All right, good, thank you.
Just let me know when they play.
Thanks, Lucas. Hi, I'm Super Mario. That's right, the Super Mario. I've become really wealthy off those video games over the years. I've earned millions, which became billions. I bought a castle with 3 islands. I married a princess, and I have a dog named Yoshi. Yeah, life is looking pretty... Oh, I found a star, so I'm gonna eat it. Oh my god, I'm going so crazy right now. This is it. I'm just gonna spend all my money on everything I can. I'm just gonna bet on those ponies. Bet on some ponies right there. Gonna bet on some UFC fights. That's right. Go play some craps. Everything, man, everything. Just do lines of cocaine off people's unmentionables. I'm just gonna spend it all, man, because life is amazing. You have no idea, I was even invested in Bitcoin and blockchain and TikTok, the app TikTok. I invested in it all. All my money's out there. Just... Oh no. I ran out of money. Oh shit, how am I gonna pay for this castle? I had to sell all the islands just to get the mortgage going. And then the princess left me. My dog Yoshi ran away. It's just me in the castle now. And the debt collectors are after me. So I just hide away. I sleep in the day and I wake up at night. And I just try... The debt collectors keep coming, but I'm safe in my castle, right? Oh my god. They're knocking on the door. The debt collectors just keep knocking on the door. That's where things got weird. That's where things got a little weird. I took a shovel and I started digging.
started digging in the castle, and I dug it as deep as it was tall. And I just stayed in that hole in the castle. And that's when I started talking to the ghosts that lived there. And that's where this happened. I had become a creature of the night. I had become very interested in puppeteering. And my specific interest in puppeteering was to puppeteer with the air. Let me show you. So that's what my puppeteering looks like. That's how you puppeteer with the air. Thank you.
Thank you, Jack. Oh, don't worry about it. I'm sure that floor's seen worse things than ketchup. What? No, don't give the secret away. It's real. Malabars, which is a combination of marrow and bars. Marrow bar. Okay, we're gonna have our last performance of the evening, and then we're done, and then we're gonna take a picture, and then we'll see what happens after that. Jack, you ready? Yeah. Round of applause for Jack.
There's blood on the microphone.
It's by the guitar on the other side, left side.
I got you. This part's harder than it looks. Has everyone had a nice evening? Yeah, what a show. It's been very interesting for me watching the show. Those of you that don't have not been here before, I usually help more than I've done this evening. But it's been an interesting experience watching the show, and I've got a greater understanding for everything in life, so that's good. And happy birthday, Lucas, you do a great job too. I've been watching you pressing the buttons. This is not a love song. I only write ballads. But it's also about lies and deceit. It's called Butterflies. Because it's about the butterflies you get in your tummy when you meet... No, it's not. Also, like, has anyone done app dating before? Yay! It's always an unenthusiastic, yeah.
Unsuccessful.
When we matched online, I thought it was fake. Maybe you dropped your phone or swiped right by mistake. But then I saw you and it all made sense. The joke was on me, the joke was at my expense. Because you fooled me with that Snapchat filter. I thought your eyes were big and blue. I thought there was a halo of butterflies constantly following you. Oh, why'd you have to lie? I think your face is fine. Oh, why'd you have to lie? movies we were standing in line. You looked at me funny, like there was something on your mind. You said your profile says you're 5'10", but you kind of look 5'9". I don't mean to pry, but did you lie about your height? I said, honey, you must be having a laugh. If anything, I'm almost 5'10" and a half. Well, that was a dirty lie. I'm barely even 5'9". Why'd I have to lie? It's fine to be 5'9". You didn't buy that for a second. As the end of our night slowly beckoned, you said, I'm sorry, but I just don't date shorter guys. I said, well, that's okay, I don't date girls whose entire face is just a lie. And then you got offended and you called me short stack. And I said, yeah, well, Pikachu called and he wants his fucking eyes back. You said I won't be antagonized. I'm leaving unless you apologize. So I looked at you in your normal sized eyes and said, don't forget the butterflies. Thank you. Good job for the band too. Let's do it for the band.
Okay, thank you very much for coming. That was a fantastic. I hope everybody had a decent time. Half decent. That's half conceit. What is that? Yeah, we're talking. Wait till the end of the show to really get into that shit. Half a conceit is double truth. All right, let's get everybody up into for a photo. Everybody, I want everybody in the picture. The picture is also on the podcast. Not just performers. And hand puppets, blood.